Hello, welcome to episode 18 part 2. Today we're gonna look at another game I played on the Mars app where I'm going for cities. Once again, I did crop this game already, so sometimes I'm gonna pause because I feel like some of the interesting decision, it would be a shame to just go through it too quickly. This is not one of them. This decision is like straightforward. Metals Company and Business Empire. It's two of the best preloads in the game, I think. I'm very happy that I see this, especially considering this is a two-player game. But in any game, I don't know, these two are amazing. That's probably the best thing about my opening hand this game is my preludes. My opening hand here, however, it's not that good to be honest. Like, I have some good cards. Pits can be fine later because I'm Thasos obviously, but the best card I have is Mars University. And then other than that, I'm also going for Industrial Center here. I don't know, it's my starting hand is not that amazing. The best thing about the starting hand honestly is my preludes. And also Mars University. Mars University is also really good. Cupola City. Of course I'm keeping this one, but what are the other one? Lagrange Observatory. I guess this is because this is a two-player game, so I feel like maybe I did the math. I know what I'm gonna do the first generation, because this is like one of these luxury cards that I'm probably gonna play later. So is it really worth keeping it in my opening hand? It's debatable, but now I've done it, so it is what it is. So in the previous episode, we had a game where I went like all in on cities. It was a 4-player game. It only went to 7 generations, and I misplayed a lot and stuff. I really wasn't happy about that game. But this time it's gonna be a whole different ballpark, because this is a 2-player game, and as you know by now, it's a very different game when it's 2 players. So the way to play cities when you play a 2-player game, that's a lot different than when you're playing 4-player games. So what I'm actually gonna do this game is I'm gonna be like 50% all in on cities, and also 50% all in on the card strategy, because you really have to go for cards when you're playing 2-player games. I talked about this a lot, but you really have to go for the card strategy. There's no other way around it. So I have to go for the card strategy to some extent at least, and in this case, so I'm gonna go for cards, and then I'm also gonna go for cities along the way. It's if I have nothing better, I might as well get 1 steel production for 7 gold. It's like that cheap card, if you think about it. So generation 2. We got Quantum Extractor and we got Capital. I think Quantum Extractor, if I have enough science tags, I must have looked at my hand and thought I had enough science tags to get away with this. Oh, I still get Capital. I guess, sure. Worms could also be cool, but I guess I don't really have any micro tags at this point. Okay, so I think it makes sense. Once again, this is a 2-player game, so getting cards like Quantum Extractor is a bit more okay in this game, because it's a 2-player game and more greed is allowed, as opposed to the last game I showed you, where I went for Quantum Extractor in the city strategy where I was 4 players, then I ended up sitting that card, I think. But in this case, it's definitely better in this game. Also worth noting, I did have Mars University, and I have the questionable card, Lagrange Observatory. So I think when I think about it, it's probably a good idea to keep Lagrange Observatory, just because I have this, is it Mars University it's called? So just for that alone, it's okay, especially considering that this is a 2-player game. And now obviously it definitely paid off, because now I picked up a Quantum Extractor, so... Oh, Olympus Conference, there we go. Well, now everything is perfect. Now my starting opening hand just went from okay to insane, I think. So this is interesting. We got herbivores. I'm already looking at the stuff like herbivores, and there's also decomposers. I was kind of sad I didn't get that one, but it was one or the other. And so I know I'm going for cities, and I know I'm going for greeneries, so herbivores, it makes a lot of sense this game. And this is the combo, Mars University and Olympus Conference. I really like this combo, especially because I'm gonna be drawing a lot of cards, especially because this is a 2-player game, so the game is gonna drag on for a long time. So it's kind of cool. I might consider playing those now, but I could. Okay, I am. Yeah. An alternative play would be to play the Jovian that just gave me 3 mega credit production. There are pluses and minuses here, but I think this play is also completely reasonable. So I can only, okay. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, I see. So I'm getting 1 more steel production. And that's probably the last one I'm gonna get, to be honest. So this is why I'm not playing Callisto Candle Mines, I think. And worth noting, my hand is still not amazing. I don't really have any good engine building cards left in my hand, but I am Tharsis, so and I still have this incredibly business empires and stuff like this. So it's not bad at all. I have 12 mega credit production, and now I have 3 steel. Yeah, and in this game, because it's a 2-player game, there's no question. I'm going for Jovian amplifiers. I'm going for the card strategy to a lot of, to some extent. But in this generation, I still don't really know what I'm doing. I probably am still going for... Okay, so adaptation technology, that's just to get the last base tank. So probably I'm playing to get quantum extractor down. I think that's what I'm doing right. It would make sense. That's also why I'm keeping a magnetic something card, magnetic field dome, because I know that I'm gonna probably in this generation have enough golds to play quantum extractor, and then this card is obviously fine, especially when I have steel production. So Large Range Observatory. Yeah, of course I need to play Varsity University first. Yeah. And energy tapping. And now we hit this point that I talk about sometimes, that it's kind of awkward because you also need bad cards in your hand because you played Mars University. So you need to have some trash you can cycle. So what am I cycling now, I wonder? I guess I'm drawing the card first, and then I can see what I get. Definitely not Corporate Stronghold, I'm playing that shit. Adaptive Technology, I kinda still need that because of the science tag. That's a tough one. I kinda don't wanna get rid of any of my cards here. It could be maybe just Lightning Harvest, to be honest. Is that not the least? Or maybe, yeah, that also makes sense. A Quick Warrior, whatever it's called, Magnetizer. I think that makes a lot of sense because it's gonna be either that or the Field Dome, because I don't really have enough energy production to support both of these cards, if that makes sense. Now I'm playing Adaptive Technology. It's not a good card, it's really not, but in this case I just need the science tag. But it's a big investment to just play 3 for the cards and then 12 for playing the card, so that's like 15 just to play this, and it does absolutely nothing for me. It's just a way to get a science tag. So there's definitely a lot of positive about my early game here, but there's also some things left to be desired. Special design is kind of funny together with adaptive technology, but I guess that has to go because I need cards to cycle, so this is the least impactful card I have. So now Magnetic Field Dome, and this actually looks even better now because I see that I randomly picked up, what's it called, Medical Lab, I think, where I can turn every second building tag into a mega credit production. Yeah, Medical Lab. So pretty good. I wonder how many building tags I have. So now we go to generation 4. 5 even. Okay, cool. So Zeppelins could be an idea. Is there any other things I want here? Nah, I think Zeppelin's actually okay this game. Magnetic Field Generator. Interesting. Do I really have enough energy to play this? I guess I'm just betting that I'm gonna pick up... Oh, okay, I picked up Tectonic Stress Power. I didn't see that. Ah, well, in that case it's good. So now I have a couple of different things I want to do. I think I want to play a bunch of building tags so I can get a good medical lab down. But on the other hand, there's also like other stuff in my hand. There's Corporate Stronghold. There's like Tectonic Stress Power together with the Field Dome thing. But this is like 4 mega credit production because I'm Tharsis, so I think it makes a lot of sense to play this. Also kind of juicy. I'm like taking the northeast part of the map here, so that's also kind of cool. And then I get Tectonic Stress Power, and I don't think that's gonna do anything for me, but I think I'm just playing it because then in the next generation I'm probably gonna play the Dome, the Field Dome thingy, Magnetic Field Generator. Yeah, that card. So yeah, it's alright. I don't think it's perfect or great, but it looks okay. So if you watch my last episode where we went for the cities in the 4-player game, you'll see that I play this a lot differently. Greenhouses, Martian rails, holy hell. I want both of those. I guess we're still early enough in the game that Martian rails can give you a lot of mega credit. Yeah, that's probably the play. power plant could be worth it, because I still need energy production, right? CEO's favorite project, I don't think I have a combo with this yet, so... Artificial photosynthesis, and also sabotage. I just don't want to get hit by sabotage myself, so I'm not really sure. Maybe it's better to take sabotage, to be honest. But I have a lot of synergy when it comes to science tags, so I think that's what's persuading me. Oh, I'm not taking it. What? If I'm not taking it, then I feel like I misplayed. I am taking it. Okay, good. I think if I didn't have all this science tag synergy, then I would have just taken the sabotage. But now I'm just making my peace with the fact that he's gonna play sabotage probably. But can I even... Maybe I can spend all of my... No, I can't. But this is fine. So right now I have 1 energy to use this Martian rail. So this is like basically 3 mega credit production at this point, and then it's gonna increase in value. So like we talked about, Martian rail is really good when you're going for the strategy. But the thing is, right now I have 0 energy production. So in order to play Martian rail in the upcoming generation and the next generation, I really need to play some energy production right now. I hope I'm remembering this. There's lightning harvest, looks fine. Yeah, I am remembering. Okay. Because now I have 1 energy in the next generation, and that's all I need to play Martian rails. Or use the action, I should say. And another power plant, I guess, just for good measure. Just to be safe, in case he like grieves me or something. Yeah. So I have 3 plant production. I definitely wanted to have more at this point, but it is a card game. You can't get everything. Ooh, research. Research looks cool. There's also design microorganisms. I am going for cities after all. I'm not sure. I think it's maybe... I don't know. It's a tough call. I think research would have also been really good. There's an argument to be made for both, but I own only at 3 plant production, so if I'm going for cities, I think the plant production is very valuable for me. So yeah, it's okay. This play is okay. So now the big thing is the bonus. He just took that. There's nothing I can do about that. I could have done something different in the last generation maybe to play to get the bonus, but I'm not really sure. What about the heat production? Can I get that? No, I can't even get that. But I can get some cards. That's pretty good. Yeah, so this flooding card, I have mixed feelings about it because it gives you 1 minus, but then you get a water. So it's basically you get a placement bonus and 1 mega credit production for 7 gold plus 3 for the card. So it's like okay. But in this case there was a really good placement where I can get 2 cards, and also I'm putting water close to my cities. So in this case I think it's entirely reasonable. Probably medical lab. Oh shit, I also got anti-gravity technology. So I have to look at my science tags now. How many science tags do I have? That's actually... So there are 2 ways to play this. Either I play for anti-gravity technology, to play a bunch of science tags, or I play the medical lab. But the thing is, medical lab actually also has a science tag. So maybe I just play this in order to get to anti-gravity technology sooner. I think that makes sense. I like it. Good job, Boneless. And now I can cycle something. I don't know what. Maybe the... Ooh, really? It kind of feels bad to get rid of a Jovian amplifier. Or not an amplifier, but a Jovian card when I have an amplifier. But I guess I'm realizing that this card is not one of the strong... It's actually one of the weaker Jovian tags. And as of right now, I think I only have 1 amplifier. So... I guess it's okay to get rid of it. But it kind of feels bad, right? When you're on a 2-player games, getting rid of Jovian tags is a little bit sus. I'm not sure. Anti-gravity. Let's go. Do I have an even better play? I think insects is probably not the time for insects yet. Probably insects is for the next generation. I'm guessing. But, I mean... Is it? Yeah, I think in the next generation I can probably not even play the one with the 16, what's it called, grass? I can probably not even play grass. Oh, what is this? Interesting. What did I play? I play Medical Lab, of course. Ooh, yeah, that's really good. Alright, that's much better than what I was thinking about. So here's the thing. So even though I could play anti-gravity technology, once again, I'm getting so much mega credit production from this robotic workforce that it's actually better for me to play anti-gravity technology in the next generation. Because I could have played robotic workforce for 2 cheaper, but I'm guessing that I got a lot more than, see, I have 12, so I got 6 mega credit production, so 6 gold is more than 2 gold, if that makes sense. So I think what I did here is correct. I did the correct thing. And here's the thing, the way I look at the game. So first of all, this is a 2-player game. When it comes to milestones, this is a 2-player game, so the milestones are not that important. But it's also, I had this amazing hand, the combination of cards in my hand, so I kind of valued that more. But right now, I kind of played what I wanted to. Like, anti-gravity technology is still great, but I can pick up milestones now and then play that later. So at this point, I think milestones is definitely what I should do right now. I think it's okay I waited this long because I had such good cards in my hand. But at this point, it's definitely, I have to go for the milestones. And worth noting, my opponent has not been so aggressive with the milestones either, and I'm probably checking them sometimes. So yeah, like this. So now I can get Maya and I can get Planner. Oh, okay, so I actually planned this out, right? Now I have 16 cards. So this is also something that went into my thought process in the last generation, because I wanted to start this generation taking Planner and Maya. Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. So I probably made sure that I had exactly 16 cards at the start of this generation so I could do this. That makes sense. So this generation is probably gonna be where I play insects and anti-gravity. Of course, first. Why do I play shuttles? Hello, anti-gravity? Thank you. I think you play this first. I was probably just looking at which cards to discard. I think that's what it was. Yeah, mining expedition. That makes a lot of sense. I don't have any synergy when it comes to events, I don't think. And also, I have a lot of, at least soon I'll have a lot of plant production, so I kind of don't need to. I'm kind of grieving myself, if that makes sense. I would rather just get rid of the mining expedition so that I can get the TR from making greeneries instead. That would be better. Val enhancers and insects. I still can't play grass, which is annoying. But I think it should be time for insects, no? Am I greedy? Am I really waiting? I could also wait, to be honest. It's hard to say. It looks like in the next generation I can play moss and grass, which is another 2 plant tags, so there's an argument to be made for both. I mean, I have other interesting plays to go for if I'm not going for insects, so it's a tough call. That's probably what I'm thinking about here. Shuttles? Am I considering shuttles? I guess if I play shuttles, then I'm down to 0 energy production. So in that case, I would kind of have to go for artificial photosynthesis or something. But as you probably noticed by now, I say this is like a city strategy game. It kind of is, but it seems to me like it's even more so a card strategy game. But I think it's just one of the things is, of course, I haven't gotten as much synergy as I would have liked. But the other thing is also like this is a 2-player game. I have to like play it like this. I have to go for cards. So I think what I'm doing is correct, and I have 31 mega credit production. It's not bad. I'm okay. So the first award, he's kind of going for cities as well, which I don't mind. I have pets, I have Tharsis, so it's not that bad for me. But maybe it's a little bit too soon to actually start the landlord. I think I want to get a bit more plant production before I would be confident in winning this award. Vowel enhancers, herbivores, insects. I guess vowel enhancers and insects still looks good to me, but I'm not sure what I'm going to go for. I could get rid of like grass or something. Shuttles? Really? That's because of the problem with the energy production. That's all it is. But I have artificial photosynthesis. So I'm not sure getting rid of this card is correct. And obviously I have some draw cards as well. I could also just play those. But now I picked up Miranda Resort. That makes sense. That's I don't know how many tags I have, but I definitely have enough earth tags for this to be worth it, I think. Yeah. It's questionable to getting rid of that card, but other than that, investment loan, ants, those two look good to me. Oh yeah, so I'm checking my opponent. Okay, I'm going for ants. That's cool. Ooh. How many do I have? Satellites. I have 3. And maybe I checked his as well. It's like, maybe it's worth it, but not really. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. I don't know if this card is worth it either, because it gives me 1 minus VP. It's kind of hard to say. It's really cheap. It gives me 2 energy production, so maybe it's worth it. And he gives me investment loan. Okay, cool. I'm happy about that. So am I keeping the biomass? Yeah, I am. And then I'm just keeping natural preserve. I can't play this card, but I just keep it so I have something to cycle. Yeah, I'm thinking about the awards. Makes sense. Oh yeah, scientist. Yeah, that's obvious. So this is what I want to do at the start of the generation. If this is a generation where I want to go for an award, then it's one of the first things I should do in a generation before he does it, if that makes sense. And we are in generation 9. It's kind of, one of us should have claimed the first award. I think maybe last generation or something. Yeah. And now I just go ham. I got investment loan. I also got the Arctic algae down, which is a really nice time for that, because it's still one of these cards that it is a bit awkward to play in the first generation because you want money income, but at this point it's perfect. There's only 1 water being placed in the team. So I'm still gonna get a lot of value from Arctic algae. And also I probably still have insects, right? I didn't play it in the last generation. Did I? No, I don't. So for sure I'm playing grass and then I'm playing insects. That's absolutely for sure. But maybe there's an argument to be made that I should draw some cards before I do this. It depends how much I can afford, really. I should probably also place my greenery, because now the oxygen is closing. And, I mean, he could have a comet or something. If he hadn't burned my plant at this point, he's probably not going to, but technically it would be correct to place down my greenery. I don't know why I waited this long, to be honest. I wonder if I'm gonna play biomass combustors, because it does give me -1 victory point, but maybe I just kept it so I have something to cycle. But it feels like when I'm looking at my hand, I probably have more than enough to cycle at this point. Herbivores. So that's what it is. I wanted to not place my greenery until I played herbivores. That actually makes sense. Maybe I also have protected habitat. I haven't really kept track of my effects this game. Yeah, but I can squeeze another half a point from herbivores. That also makes sense. And now he's closing the oxygen. Okay. So I still think the name of the game is insects. I still think that's what I should be doing. I think I am going to, but I think I'm doing what I recommended myself. Now I'm just grieving his empire, which I like. But I think I'm doing what I said, which is to just see if I can get like one more card somehow before I play insects. But it doesn't look like it. And also worth noting, I'm waiting for as long as possible before I actually use the action on my Martian drills, and that's entirely on purpose, because maybe he's gonna place one more city, right? So I want to get the maximum efficiency out of this action. But at this point he's probably not going to, so I should use this action. And now I'm playing insects, very nice. And then I should use my action. I don't think I did that yet. And once again, I have Search for Life. And I just know that if I click this card, I'm not gonna get it, because I never get this card. I don't think I've never actually found native life on Mars. It's never happened for me, so. Oh yeah, Ants is also a very reasonable idea here, because I'm taking away half a point from him, and I'm giving myself half a point. So playing that now, instead of the next generation, is like equivalent to 1 victory point, if that makes sense. At least the difference between him and me. So I think Ants also makes sense here. And griefing is Decomposer, so it feels kinda good, because I wanted this card for myself early in the game. But I went for something else, and now he got the Decomposers, and so I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat his microbes and Decomposers now that he stole this card from me. How dare he? So if I'm not playing this card, Biocomposers now, then yeah. Oh, okay, I'm not actually drawing this card, this is just Search for Life, I see. I should just stop at this point, I never get it. Yeah, if I'm not playing this card right now, Biomass Combustors, then I'm not playing it. Then it's just a dead card that I can cycle with. That's probably what it is. Beam, Birds, Giant Asteroid. Actually, all of this looks fine. I have a fair amount of titanium, so all of this kind of looks good. I wonder if... Ah man, birds looks really good. But the thing about Giant Asteroid, if I give it to him, maybe he's gonna burn my plants if I don't have protected habitat. Hide Raiders, fine, the other two is production. Production is useless at this point. Then I get beam from an asteroid, and yes, that's also production, but it's a little better now because it's a Jovian. It gives me 1 victory point, and also the energy production could be something I want to play at some point. Could be nice for me. Then I got another amplifier, it seems. So I have 2 amplifiers in my hand at least, so it makes a lot of sense to go for this one. Hide Raiders could be a thing, but yeah, okay. I think I want to make sure that I get some of the better city spots left on the map, which is also entirely reasonable. So with this city here, I kinda ensured that I'm gonna have a nice empire on the northeast side of this map. Ooh. And now he's got 1. He's doing the same, by the way. He's also like taking the map, making sure he's getting as many city spots as possible. But look at this, I'm having 10 animals and pets. So pets is basically the equivalent of a Jovian amplifier at this point. Not bad at all. And that's the thing when you play against Tharsis. Do you just ignore him, or do you just kind of take some of the map that yourself? It's like, there are pros and cons. When I have pets, maybe he made a mistake building this many cities, but it's also a fair idea to just take some of the map away from me, so I can't make cities all over the place. But maybe he misread the situation a little bit, because maybe he's thinking that I'm all in on cities, but I'm really not. I'm actually like playing more cards than cities, it would seem. But I have some nice city synergy, so I'm doing a mix of both. Indentured Workers, even though this is Generation 10, I still think I would play Indentured Workers. It's still a good card at this point. Alright, this is obviously the point of the game right now, is that to get the last good city spots, because both of us are going for it. And also, I think the reason I do this now is because I know he's gonna start the next generation. So with that in mind, I know that if I don't take the good city spots now, then in the next generation they're just gonna be gone. Yeah, birds looks good. I'm counting my discount. I'm counting my discount because I'm wondering, shit, it costs 0. Did I make it too cheap? But no, I'm not. It's perfect because the card costs 10. And then I have 2 discount and then another 8 from the Indentured Workers, so it works out perfectly. I didn't overshoot it. And this is kind of nice. Birds is gonna give me a lot of points, because what's left? Maybe 3 generations? Maybe this is going to 13, I would think. So... Landlord, probably gonna win it, but not 100%. Banker, same thing. I feel a bit more confident when it comes to... Actually, both Landlord and Banker could make sense. I think I started Landlord, and I think the reason I'm confident in the Landlord is that I have 9 plant production. I don't believe he has that much. Oh, he has 0 actually. I just burned the 2 last. Yeah, he has 0. Yeah. In this case, I'm ahead. I'm Tharsis. In this case, I'm almost certain that I'm gonna win Landlord. It's a good call, I think. And then Zeppelins. It's a bit late, but sure. Alright. It does give me a lot, so I think it's still worth it. Definitely worth it, but maybe I had some better play, but I don't think so. I still haven't played Design Microorganisms, which is funny. Because this is a card that, like, normally it's only a card that you can play in the early game because of the, like, requirement issue, but this game is weird, man. It's not often you get to play Designed Microorganisms in Generation 11. It's kinda strange. I have a lot of steel, by the way. I hope I get a steel card next generation. And once again, we did not find any life on Mars. Sad panda. Yeah, by the way, I realized that some of the first replays, I like cut them a little bit too intensely, and like, I think I had to do it because the replays were already too long. Even after I cut them down, it was still like an hour or something. But in this game, I'm giving it a little more air, so I have cut this down, but I haven't cut it down to like half an hour. I'm giving this one a little more breathing space, so I think this is probably better. I don't know, you tell me in the comments, but this is probably a better way to cut it down. I'm not so stressed when I'm casting this one. The first couple of games I was like, alright, I have a lot to say, we have to speedrun. But this is kind of nice. The cards are kept here. I believe there was like what's it called, Commercial District, if I'm not mistaken. The other ones were a little bit whatever, I think. It was not the most impactful cards. So Design Microorganisms is definitely a thing I should keep my eye out for. Also getting some of the last cities. If I want one more city, then I have to get it now, if that makes sense. But Commercial District is pretty cool, especially because it costs steel. So this in the middle of his empire would be very nice for me. So right here, yeah. Okay, interesting. So do I want 4 gold and a plant, or do I want 1 more victory point? I think actually 4 mega credit and 1 plant. Isn't that a little bit better? It's a tough choice, right? It's really tough actually. Maybe the 1 victory point is better, yeah. You could make an argument for both. Banker would make sense, but I also have to defend my landlord, so it looks like I did take it. Yeah, I did take the banker. It makes a lot of sense as well. I think placing one more city right now would be too greedy, especially because I don't have a card. So I think the rest of the game should just be play the rest of my hand and also place as many greeneries as possible. I think placing one more city at this point would be a mistake. You could also make an argument that I should play ants as soon as possible, just in case he gets protected habitat. But that's a minor thing. I don't think I have it myself, do I? No, I don't think so. Design microorganisms. Generation 11. Let's go. That's so weird. Ironworks, biomass combustors, yeah, whatever, get rid of them. Where's my energy production? What happened? Did I mess up or something? Or did I just use it? I just used it for commercial district, right? Yeah. I have 1 energy, okay. So, I don't think I misplayed, but for sure... Ooh, research outpost. I don't think I can play it, right? No. I actually can. I can play it all the way to the right, but I don't think it's worth it. I think plantation is better. No, I think plantation is better. It is steel, though. It is a steel card. I guess I have a mineral deposit. So that's probably what guided this decision, actually. Yeah. In that case, it's not terrible. I can see why I did that. But if I'm gonna play this card, I should play it now. But I should play mineral deposit first, right? Oh, there's protected habitat. Easy. Why am I not playing... maybe I'm really scared that he's gonna take this before I can get this down. But I have mineral deposit in my hand. Kinda questionable to not play that before, but I don't know. Another Jovian amplifier, pretty nice. At this point I could just get rid of tardigrades or something. Or this one, I guess. It hurts a little bit because it's a science tank, but... yeah, protected habitat. It's definitely... I mean, every time you're going for plants or animals or something, it's just a fine card. Especially now that it's so cheap. So the rest of the game, like I said, I think I just play my cards. I have a bunch of Jovian amplifiers, and also I want to get a bunch of greeneries around my cities. So I think I'm in a pretty comfortable position. I can't remember the milestones. I think I got 2 out of 3. Did I? But the awards are definitely in my favor. IO mining industries could also be... No. I need energy production. That's actually the most important thing right now. So I wonder if I have money to both get energy production and iron mining industries. Probably not, actually. So I could just play beef from Ethereum. Maybe I have enough for wave power and iron mining industries. I actually do, yeah. That could be an idea as well. Oh, I still haven't used Martian rails, so... Oh, I'm getting one more city. It's so greedy. Oh man, is this really worth it? I'm not sure about this one, man. Maybe it's... I don't know, it seems a little bit greedy to me. But I guess when you think about it, he has 2 cities that I'm kind of griefing by putting a city next to it. So I'm just assuming that he's gonna make a greenery there at some point. And if he does that, then it's like worth 2 points the city. Then it can be worth yet another point because it's next to one of my other cities. So maybe it's not so bad actually. And then I'm getting 1 energy production, desperately needed, so I can play Martian Rails next turn. And what do I have left now? I might still have enough for iron mining industries actually. I think I do, yeah. That looks good to me. Yeah. And then whatever's left, I guess small animals. Can I really play tardigrades? Maybe it can be worth 1 point for me if it goes like 2 more generations. It also depends, do I have wild enhancers or not? I'm not sure. Oh, he doesn't have plant production, does he? Oh, he has 2, right? Yeah, he has 2 plant production. I should definitely play small animals in this case. Yeah, there we go. I just keep removing his plant production. It's kind of nice, especially when I started the landlord. He's gonna be really salty. Okay, so I do have wild enhancers. So I think if this goes to generation 13, that tardigrades will give me 1 point. And if that's the case, I'm perfectly happy about it. But if it only goes to 12, then I don't think it can give me a point. So I'm estimating with none of us really going for heat production this game, it's probably gonna go to 13. I think that's my estimation. And even if it's not, it's only like 1 gold I spent on this tardigrade, so it's okay. Yeah, pretty strong generation. I got to do a lot of stuff. It was definitely not bad. Standard tech is cool, development center. I don't have energy. Boneless, you don't have energy. Yeah, that's not good. I think the one that gives an animal. I think EU Chasma National is would actually be better. But then again, standard technology, I can use that to place a lot of standard greeneries. It's a kind of a tough choice. I don't know. I think the other one, EOS, might have been better. Media group. Yeah, why not? I am still going for development and it's so greedy. I don't have energy. Because the 1 energy I have is gonna go to Martian Rails, right? So I'm not crazy about keeping this development center. I think it's a mistake. Because at most it will draw me 1 card if the game goes to 13. And it's gonna draw me 1 card. I don't think it's worth it. Maybe it's because of the scientists, but the last time I looked, I'm like way ahead of the scientists. So I don't think that's what it is. So when we talked about synergies, episode 4, I mentioned that this card that draws me a card is sometimes a bit awkward because I've had it in my hand for a long time and I never actually used it. So you could argue maybe it's a mistake, but I don't know, the card is just so expensive, so I think at this point it could be one of those cards I end up selling again. So this is what I mean, that this card, what's it called? Invention Guild or something? Inventors Guild? This is not one of the stronger cards, it doesn't feel like it, because it's been in my hand for so long and I just still haven't played it. Yeah, that's a very good place to place a greenery right now. Yeah, Inventors Guild, there we go. So now I'm finally playing it, but now it's only going to give me 2 cards. But of course the reason I'm playing it is that I have Olympus Conference and Mars University, so it's still a good card to play. But it's been in my hand for a long time, that's all I'm saying. It never feels like a card I really need to play, as opposed to some of the other cards or plays I had available in this game. Ecological Zone? I'm guessing I only picked that up now, since I haven't played it. But right now it doesn't seem though so good, because I don't really have any other plant tags to play. So maybe I'm gonna wait until I play that. This is okay, I can grief him a little bit. I don't hate it. I can get the last water, I can play it in the middle of his empire. I think this is, yeah, I like it. It's perfect. Making his city all the way to the left, making it very awkward. And now I don't have to worry about the last bonus, because now there's no more water. So media group, I'm not sure I should have kept out. But let's see. I think discarding development center is honestly the play. But obviously this card is also pretty useless at this point, so. So now we're definitely entering the late game. Or I should say the last generation maybe. Maybe not this one, but definitely the next one. So I'm thinking about... I'm really thinking, oh no, one more cities. What the hell? Well, maybe I calculated that this is gonna go to 13, and in that case, it's like maybe I'm running out of cards in my hand, and the map is filling up. So maybe I'm getting I'm like squeezing the last available TR out of the game. So if that is the case, it might still be okay, but it's a very questionable city I just placed. It's hard to say. It seems like it is gonna go to 13, and I have a lot of engine. I have 66 mega credit production, so maybe it is the case actually, that the map is gonna fill up in the last generation, and I'm gonna run out of cards, so... If this is the case, it could be okay, but it looks very greedy to me. But I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of mega credit. Livestock, yep. Perfect. I got the Val Enhancers, so why not? This is gonna give me 3 points, this card. Plus whatever I get from Ecological Zone, that's like half a point. So definitely not bad. I could go Search for Life. I guess I'm still... at this point I must have known that he's gonna pass and not close the game at this point. So now I'm just starting to fill up the map. Yeah, I think this really is my priority. I think I'm feeling that I have a lot of mega credits in the 13th generation, the next generation. So I might even have mega credits left over in this game. So this is why I'm taking the map as fast as possible. Development center obviously is useless right now because I don't have energy. Wave power doesn't really do much. My cards doesn't even do much. I can all of these cards I can just wait until the next generation before I play them. So yeah, when this is the case, I think actually my plays here have been correct. I think the city is correct, and I think just making greeneries at this point is correct. I want to fill up the map as soon as possible, basically. But I still want to play something. What am I playing here? I want to sell Media Group. Yeah, this was a questionable card to to keep. Oh, okay, so I'm selling 3 cards just so I can get 1 more greenery. That's kind of cool. I like it. I think it actually makes sense. Because the map is gonna fill up, so... And now I might as well wave power. I mean, it literally does not matter, because... the next generation is gonna be the last one, so the 1 extra energy I get is not even gonna get converted in time. Oh, it hurts. Yeah, pass generation, go for the last one. What are we doing here? Toll station could make sense because of the banker. Otherwise, mining area is probably best, yeah. So I'm calculating that I probably want the banker, even without toll station. AI Central is kind of cool, but yeah, I think this one is correct. Dome Crater, whatever, I can't use it. So I'm keeping Deimos down, and I should keep mining area, no? I think it's still good. I can deny him. I can use it like as a little bit of annoying tile on the Pavinius moons, just to deny him 1 point potentially, so I think it's kinda good. But the last generation here is pretty straightforward. I think there's no really point to let this go to 14. It doesn't really matter much, right? So, because first of all, I have won the game. There's no doubt about it. And second of all, well, there's no more. I have no more cards. There's no more space on the map. I really want the game to close now in 13 generations. There's no point in letting it go to 14 for either of us. So I'm placing greenery. You could also make the argument that I should have just closed the heat, like spent one more heat, while there's still some heat to take. I have 10 heats. Shouldn't I get that one? Or should I just keep filling up the map? I guess I'm... What is this now? I'm giving him one extra point, but then I'm getting it next to water. Okay. If I give him a point like this, then I definitely know that the map is gonna be filled with greeneries. I have no question about it. Otherwise, this is not a good play. And now I did spend my heat, so that's good. I wonder which of us is gonna close the game. Space Elevator is kinda cool. I have a lot of steel, so it could make sense to still play it. But then I would have to calculate if it's worth it. Just to get, what is it, giving me 2 points or something? Oh, that's a good card to pick up. Wow. Decomposes. You could argue that going from 13 to 12 on Decomposes doesn't really do much, but I guess I didn't really pay too much attention to what I burnt from him, or removed his micro. Livestock. I mean, at this point, my hand pretty much just plays itself. It's interesting that I've slowed down when it comes to building greeneries all over. It feels like... I guess I'm not really sure how much gold I have when everything is said and done. So if this is the case, then the last greenery I placed is really questionable. But I guess I am making 2 extra greeneries in the extra round, so... Let's see if the map is gonna be filled. Space Elevator... So when you do the math, so I have to spend 8 steel on this, so that's 16. So... Yeah, it's definitely worth it to play Space Elevator, right? Because I can also use the action afterwards, and then it's gonna be almost for free, and then it's only gonna cost me like 3 mega credits or something. So I think Space Elevator is definitely something I should do. The only way I don't play Space Elevator here is because I'd rather play Development Center, but I don't think that's worth it. I think Space Elevator is better, just get the secure 2 points. So I pay 8 steel just so I can spend the last steel to actually use the action. Makes sense. Yeah, I like it. And then the Jovian Amplifier, then whatever else I have time for. Oh, and also the last heat, nobody actually closed the heat. That's awkward. Before I play the Jovian Amplifier, I really want to play this... mining rate? Mining rights? I think I should place this to get 1 more titanium before I play the amplifier. Oh, there we go. I'm doing it. Nice. So definitely the Jovian amplifiers. I know I have a lot of Jovians this game. Also breathing filters is probably the last card I'm gonna do. And if that's the case, well, yeah, okay, I'm doing this. I want to close this game. I don't want to drag it out for 1 more generation. So I think I just sell stuff and then I play water import from Europa and just buy the last heat with a standard project. That's probably good enough, I think. I think that's what I should be doing, at least. And then I don't have gold for anything else, but that's fine. Play the amplifier and do an asteroid. I think that's the play. So we're reaching the end of the game here. Let me know what you think. Is it better to do it a little bit more slow paced than this? I mean, this replay, I didn't cut it that much, so it has more time to breathe, if that makes sense. I have more time to like reflect on the different options, available plays I had available to me and stuff like this. So do you prefer that this is like this more slow paced kind of a game, or do you prefer the other games that are a little bit faster paced, where I just show you all the good stuff and let's get on with it? Let me know in the comments. And also, I hope that this is like the point I'm really trying to nail home here is that if you're going for cities in a 2-player game, you just have to combine it with the card strategy. There's no other way around it. So now I finally did what I told myself to do like 2 minutes ago. I closed the game and I played my amplifier, and that's it. So good game. I think this is it's not gonna be like a completely high scoring game. I think on 14 generations I got maybe 100 more points than this or something. No, not 100. Let's see how much this is. I can't remember. But it's definitely a good game, for sure. Even though it's not like a high scoring game or anything. And it seems like my opponent left at some point. I guess he could also see that I was crushing him this game. Yeah. And once again, I sell my last card just in case that we are tied. Then it's actually gonna be gold. And now I'm saying GG to a guy who left. I guess I didn't notice that he left the game yet. Very nice. Boneless. Good manners. So how many greeneries can I make? I guess I made 2, yeah. So the map is not really filling up. So I think this last greenery down there, that actually hurts because I could have placed it on the bottom. No, shit, I haven't used my greenery yet. Alright, in that case, I'm right. Or at least I'm not, but the bonus who played this game was right. The map was indeed gonna fill up completely, so in that case I actually did make the right call. Interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much the game. Thanks so much for watching, and yeah, have a great evening.